this trip has been absolutely amazing. Kanchanaburi gets a huge thumbs up from me. However, one big question that is always on everybody's mind when they're looking to go to a place in Thailand, or especially when they're looking to move to a place in Thailand, not on everybody's minds, but on a lot of people's minds, is what is the nightlife like? Does Kanchanaburi have good nightlife? Now, I've done videos on the nightlife in Hanoi in Vietnam and in Chiang Mai. So tonight I figured I would do a video on the nightlife in Kanchanaburi. And yes, it does in fact have a nightlife scene. I wasn't expecting it, or at least I wasn't expecting the type of scene that it has, because when you go out of the big cities in Thailand, when you go outside of Chiang Mai, when you go outside of Bangkok or whatever, you do find obviously nightclubs and bars, but most of the time you will find Thai style nightclubs and bars, which I personally am not a fan of. I much prefer the Western style bars, which are kind of like pubs where foreigners hang out. Not to say there's anything wrong with the Thai style bars, but they play music too loud. Okay, so when you go into those types of Thai places, there's booming music, you can't hear anything, and I personally like to just go out and have a chit chat with people. Now, I bumped into a couple of expats that actually live here earlier when I was getting my lunch, and they were telling me that Oddie Bar, very common name, is apparently one of the best places, and that's where all the expats hang out and have a drink. So what I plan to do is probably go and grab a bite to eat, come back, and then go and check out these bars and see if I can have a beer with some expats that currently live here in Kanchanaburi. And there's lots of places on this street. There is, it's weird because there's not like a bar complex. They're just sporadically placed along the street, with the main congregation of them being around here. Here's the Aussie Rules Bar, so this must have been the one they were talking about. Aussie Rules. There's a few little ones. Here you have Ting Tong Bar. How are you? Yeah. It's okay? Yes, please. Can I get a San Miguel Light? So a bit of a scene, but nothing massive. I'm going to grab one in here, then I'm going to go get something to eat, and I'm going to walk up the street a little bit and see if we can find some more. One thing about the price of drinks here in Kanchanaburi, it's a lot cheaper than Chiang Mai. So I've got a San Miguel Light and it's 80 baht in this bar. In Chiang Mai you pay 110, 120. These drinks 80 baht, yeah? Okay. And how much for like a vodka and a Coke? 100 baht. Okay. No, I don't drink vodka and Coke, but in Chiang Mai maybe 150. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And how much for like a Jack and Coke? 140. Okay, so similar. From the impression I can get from walking up and down this street is this is really like a backpacker place, very similar to like your Koh San Road or something like that. Obviously because of the situation, there are no backpackers here, but I've seen like buckets, get drunk for 10 baht signs and all of that stuff, and a lot of backpackers come here because it's very close to Bangkok, so they go to Bangkok backpacking, then they come for a little trip to Kanchanaburi, just a couple of hours on the train. And yeah, I don't know how I would like it when the borders are reopened and the tourists are just pouring in here. I get the impression that this place is probably very busy, because it doesn't make sense that there are so many bars here right now that are all empty. In Chiang Mai right now, the bars are still kind of full because there are a lot of people in Chiang Mai that live there full time. Whereas here, there's only a handful of expats by the looks of things. So these bars are probably frequented by backpackers most of the time.
So this is your bar?
Yeah, it is. This is the biking bar in Kanchanaburi, Thailand.
What's it called? The biking bar?
Biking.
Oh, the biking.
Because we have a bike.
Okay, okay. How long have you had the bar?
It's been 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
How old are you? You don't look very young. You don't look very old.
I'm 27.
Okay, you opened it at 25. You opened it when you were 25.
Yeah.
How long have you lived in Thailand?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I came here for the first time 3 years ago, and I decided to come back and open the place with my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Are you married?
No. Not yet.
Well, okay, so you're not married, but you opened the bar 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we got kind of a good vibe going on here, even though there's no tourists. But I would imagine this place, when there's tourists, is just crazy. It's backpacker central for sure. I don't know how the lottery works.
What you like this number?
Huh?
What you like this number?
Maybe my birthday?
If you want, I have.
Okay, I will buy a lottery ticket. Okay.
เอามาดูดิใบเดียวไม่เชื่อไม่เชื่อใบเดียวเอามาดูใบเดียวอ๋อใบเดียวเหรอเลขอะไร87
Oh, I don't care. I will have anyone. Up to you.
Up to me, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I for you, huh?
Okay. Okay, so I'm super lucky. If I got 3 sevens on my lottery ticket,
เนี่ยใครเอามาให้กู
and if I win, I get 6 million baht. And if I win, I've got to come back and pay for everybody's drinks.
เดี๋ยวเลยไหมเดี๋ยวเลยไปเลยเดี๋ยวเลยเย็นนี่ไงนี่เลยนี่เลยใช้รถนี่พ่อใช้นี่ใช้ไปเลยฉันไม่เอาฉันไม่เอา
What is this? What is this that you put in her drinks?
เหล้าปั่นพุ่งเอาไปเจ๊เหล้าปั่นมิกเช็คเหล้าปั่นมิกกับวิสกี้เช็ค
Whiskey.
yeah วิสกี้เช็ค
Okay. So that's basically all whiskey, yeah?
yes have to taste try come on ตายแน่บอกเลย
It just tastes like sugar.
โอ้ย
6 shots, but it's just pure sugar.
ไม่พอเหรอเยอะมั้ง
Samsung in there and everything. Wow.
fuck that
What's this?
red label
Oh, red label, and this is Hong Tong.
you know the Thai drink like this
Johnny Walker, yeah. Yeah.
this and you know we have water
But this is not Thai, no?
no not Thai
And this is Thai, Hong Kong Thai.
yes this is when you don't have a lot of money
Ah.
this is when you have a little
What about Sangsum? Same Hong Kong. Same. Okay.
Same but different.
Black. Okay. Okay, so Hong Kong is lighter than Sang-som. Okay, so a bit of advice from an experienced expat. Never touch Hong Kong or Sang-som or Red Label. If you stick to the beer only, you'll always remember where your hotel is. You won't get in any fights, you won't get in any trouble. That's my rule. If I go out and I drink only beer. Where you come from? Where everybody come from? Kanchanaburi. Okay. Isan. Okay. You come in? Oh, okay. So you come in holiday or? Okay. Because of COVID. Yeah. Maybe 50% of people not have work, yeah? Next year. Where you work in Bangkok? Hotel. Second bit. Okay, what's the name hotel? Okay. I don't know. Arabian? Oh. Everybody says I look like an Arab. Yeah, with my beard. Yeah. Do I look like an Arab? Maybe I should get rid of it. Let me know in the comments.
2 hours later.
This lady owns Ting Tong Bar, no?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I just went in your bar, I just had one beer in here.
Okay, we'll go back again later, okay?
So yeah, the nightlife scene is kind of bleak. Suppose depends what you're looking for. If you lived here and if it was busier and wasn't in the whole situation happening, probably be a good place. It's kind of reminds me of Chiang Mai, where it's the reason I like the Chiang Mai nightlife scene as opposed to Bangkok or Pattaya or something like that is you get to know people the longer you live there. You can go out if you wanted to after you've been there for 6 months and you know people that are around. You have lots of friends everywhere. Everyone knows everyone, basically. So if you like that, then great. If you don't want anybody to know you, then Bangkok or Pattaya. But this feels a lot like Chiang Mai, but maybe I would say 1/8 of the size. So you still get the bars, just not as big, not as much of a selection. Those of you that are watching this video that are looking to retire, a lot of people that watch this channel want to retire in Thailand. This would actually be a fantastic place to retire, especially if you're married. If you're married to a Thai woman and you want to go and live in a really nice, beautiful place, you've seen in the other videos how stunning Kanchanaburi is. But you still want to go out, you want to socialise, you want to meet some expats that you can have a chat with. I would say you would get a lot of friends here. Like I was sitting there, I went to get a pad Thai today for lunch, and I spent 2 hours talking to three expats that were, one of them was in his 80s, the other one I think looked like he was in his 60s, and the other one was in his 50s maybe. Definitely an older crowd here. And like I say, when it's high season, I get the impression it's basically a mix of old retired guys and a bunch of backpackers just pouring through. So make what you want of that. But I like it. This is my style. I don't like too intense. I don't like the nightclubs, in your face, any of that shit. And the nice thing about places like this is, if you go to somewhere like Bangkok or Pattaya, you go out, all of the women, all of the girls, no matter where you go, no matter how many times you go out, unless you're like a heavy everyday drinker, which obviously you don't want to be, you are just a tourist all the time, like a walking ATM basically. Hey, customer, come here, which you wouldn't get here, and you don't get in Chiang Mai, because I go out in Chiang Mai maybe once a week, see my friends, and people get to know me and stuff like that. So yeah, it's different strokes for different folks, I guess.